Hey everybody, how you doing? Dash and Dave here again. Alright, quick voiceover video here. I am seeing a trend in other Doordash YouTube video comments here that's popped up recently, and I'm going to address it here today. This topic, of course, has to do with the Doordash delivery algorithm and a great many people thinking that they have it figured out. If you've watched my videos, you know my stance on this, but I'll highlight it real quick. While the Doordash delivery algorithm has a set of stated goals within its parameters, at the first and the foremost though, the Doordash delivery algorithm is a lottery, and it must be that way by design. If the Doordash algorithm functions as many people claim across a set of different parameters, then only a few people will be getting orders and most of us be sitting in Chick-fil-A parking lot cooling our heels not getting orders. And since that's not the case, then they are wrong. The Doordash algorithm has to be a lottery, spread the wealth. Otherwise, there wouldn't be enough people out there making order deliveries and the whole thing would crash on its face, okay? Okay. So the newest twist on this that I've seen in comments is, you're out there dashing and you decline, and depending on your market and depending on the order demand, it can take as little as 5 declines to put you into a 10-minute timeout. Sometimes it can take up to 10. There have been times in my market where it's just really rocking and rolling. I can get 10 or 15 really bad orders altogether, doubles and stacks. Each one of them counts as an order. Get 3 stacks in a row that I decline, which is 6, then decline 5 more, which is 11 total, and I just keep getting offers. I don't get put into timeout because I am needed out there, okay? And you are too. However, if it's pretty slow, 5 declines can put me into the 10-minute pause, in which case you just simply tap resume dashing. Okay, so here's the claim that I've been seeing recently. You do that, you decline, you get put into pause, and then all of a sudden the app freezes, glitches out. You're stuck on the 30-minute timer or the 10-minute timer, then your shift ends because you don't respond with resume dash. The app completely freezes, you can't do anything, yada yada yada. And the overall tone is Doordash is punishing me for declining all those $2 and $3 orders. This is what I've been seeing quite frequently in the comment sections of many YouTube videos recently. I myself have seen such behavior from the DoorDasher app, but I fixed it. It's just a glitch. The DoorDash Dasher app is extremely heavy data dependent, therefore bandwidth dependent, your internet signal. The Dasher app appears to be much more data dependent than Uber Eats or Grubhub, which are the other 2 apps that I'm currently running. I have a portable hotspot from my cell phone provider, US Cellular, that I keep with me all the time. And hotspots have a little bit better antenna than do the actual smartphones. And that has served me rather well until I figured out it was the reason I was getting so many glitches in the Doordash delivery app. Recently, over the summertime here, and again in my market, college town, 30,000 college students are not here, massive amounts of construction, and I imagine there's some cell phone tower maintenance going on. The kids are due back in about 2 weeks here, and then I imagine some cell phone towers will come back online or whatever, to serve the demand of the cell phone customers, and things will change again. But here's the deal with me with my hotspot. Running my cell phone exclusively off of the hotspot, when I would get out of Speedwagon and walk into an apartment complex to make a delivery, I noticed at times I was on the 5G network, the cell phone network, because I was out of the hotspot area in Speedwagon. And by the way, I can adjust the bubble. I think I've got it on medium, and I'm not sure how many feet of a bubble that really is. But anyway, then I noticed in some cases I was still on, quote, hotspot Wi-Fi with 1 bar. Sometimes that even occurred when I was in a parking lot, in one of my favorite areas, which is Hy-Vee Center, which is in the center of where there's a whole bunch of restaurants on Duff Row. And I have determined over the last couple weeks that as of right now, at this time, that area has tremendously weak cell phone signal. It's kind of slow. I'm getting $2 and $3 orders one after another. I'm declining. The app would freeze. I would have to force close it, reopen the app, yada, yada, yada. It's all about signal strength, cell phone signal strength and data and bandwidth. We all know that the Doordash app, one more time, is extremely dependent on these things, and this is why you're seeing the freezes and or the other things that these people are interpreting to be Tony and Doordash punishing them. About 2 weeks ago in my market, it got really, really bad. Now, I didn't think that Tony was punishing me. I thought there's got to be something here, something I can do to fix this. Well, I did a little research in my phone settings. I now have all of my delivery apps forced to use cell phone data, not my hotspot Wi-Fi. Why do I keep my Wi-Fi on? For all the other apps and internet purposes, YouTube and all that, go through the Wi-Fi. So now you can see here that I effectively have most of my phone running off of the Wi-Fi hotspot, but the delivery apps, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, are running separately through the 5G cell phone signal. So I've split up the demand and the processing of what gets what signal. Lo and behold, since I did this about 2 weeks, 10 days ago, all the delivery apps, including DoorDash, have performed absolutely flawlessly, except when I'm in the Hy-Vee Center parking lot, and I'm sure there's some other dead zones in town that I need to figure out. And that really kind of sucks. I've got to change one of my parking spots now because there's just such a low cell phone signal there right now, even through 5G or whatever, even on the Wi-Fi hotspot. Simple internet pages take forever to load. That's what clued me in. It's not the DoorDash app, it's the signal strength that I'm getting right there, which is piss poor. Now, I'm on a Samsung Android-based phone, and talking to dashers in my market that are on iPhones claim to not have nearly the glitch problems as I do. And I've kind of seen this a little bit, that the Android phones are more prone to the glitches due to the internet signal and the bandwidth and the data stream. But that's not to say if you're using an iPhone and you've experienced these kind of events, check your signal strength meter when this occurs and see how many bars you have. I currently have 6 gig of data on my cell phone, and I'm tracking those numbers, and so far it looks like in a month's time, with all 3 apps running exclusively off of a 5G cell phone network, that I'm not going to breach that cap. However, if it looks like I am, I may have to bump that up a little bit, which is one of the reasons I was using my hotspot. I have 30 gig on that. I use it when I'm camping for streaming music and streaming TV, yada, yada, yada. So that's just why, when I became a DoorDash dasher, I brought the hotspot with me and had the phone tethered to it. I wasn't, sure how much data the apps were going to use. And, like I said, right now I'm looking at about 6 gig per month using the 3 apps. So anyway, the takeaway is when you see one of these glitches, it's highly unlikely that Tony's punishing you. I think what happens is you're in a low signal area. The Dasher app is receiving information, and then you decline enough orders to get thrown into pause or timeout, sit down, and that information coming through at the same time as all the background information and everything else that's coming through the cell phone signal to your phone is just too much for the app to handle, and it glitches out and crashes. And remember, even if you're not using any of your apps while you're dashing, there's a tremendous amount of background information that's constantly being traded between you and websites and the cell phone and yada yada yada. And you know, you can not use your cell phone for 24 hours and look at your data usage, and there has been usage even though you have not done one thing on your phone. So if you've got a lot of apps on your phone and you're running a poker game or a Candy Crush game in the background, that's going to take up bandwidth and cell phone signal, you know, if you're not running off a hotspot, or even if you are, and that could be part of the reason why you see glitches and freezing. And pay attention to where this happens. Like I said, the Hy-Vee center where I sit all the time, maybe there's a tower down having maintenance performed on it or something, I don't know. I never noticed it up until real recently here, like I said, and I started paying attention to the signal bars. I can drive literally 1 block out of that parking lot and have 5 bars. In the parking lot, I'm at 1 bar. So if you're using a hotspot while you're dashing or doing any other delivery gig, get into your properties there. If you don't know how to do that, you can send me a message or you know, put a comment and I can maybe help walk you through it. Have the Dasher apps or your delivery apps, toggle them to run on mobile cell phone data even when Wi-Fi is connected. That way, like I said, you're splitting up the demand of what is taking what signal, and in this case I'm using 2 signals. Most of my cell phone is hooked to my hotspot. The delivery apps are hooked up to 5G. And again, one more time, since I've done this about 10 days ago, not one glitch or crash on the Doordash Dasher app, except when I've been in extremely low cell phone signal areas. Finally, if you've got your Wi-Fi on your phone set up to automatically connect to free Wi-Fi services, you know, like at Starbucks or Wendy's or wherever, turn that off. I've noticed with my hotspot, like I mentioned before, when I'm jumping in and out of the hotspot bubble in Speedwagon, there's a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a lag time when you're jumping from, say, Speedwagon's hotspot into 5G, and I noticed that's when some glitching occurs. I'm walking down the stairs of an apartment, I've taken the photo, I'm trying to submit the photo, and it's circle, 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 and you know, finally when I get into Speedwagon, bang, there it goes, and I can confirm the delivery completion. So the same thing can happen if you've got your phone set up to connect to free Wi-Fi automatically. You're on your 5G cell phone signal, and then you go to a restaurant or an area where there's free Wi-Fi, and your phone jumps from the cell phone signal into the Wi-Fi signal. There's going to be a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a lag time. That can cause connectivity issues with the Doordash app. One final piece of evidence to, you know, pretty much shit can this theory that Tony's punishing you and freezing your app. You know, why would they go to those lengths to send a glitch to you if you're declining too many orders is when I have had some glitch issue problems when an order comes up, I haven't even been able to decline or accept this offer and a glitch occurs. The app freezes, and when I can get the app back up, of course, I have not responded in time, so there's an error. You didn't accept this order in time. It's been given to another Dasher. Then about 30 seconds later, the same exact order offer pops up. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen this enough that I'm going to call this the Doordash algorithm internet bandwidth connectivity second chance offer, if you will. You know, and it's happened enough, you know, a dozen times over the last few weeks where I've seen an order come up, and like I said, the app glitches out, freezes out. By the time I get the app back up, the offer's gone away, and then about 20 to 30 seconds later, I get the exact same offer put to me. The algorithm figured out, knew that there was a connectivity issue that was beyond my control, if you will, and Doordash gave me a second chance offer on that offer when the glitch, the freezing, occurred. Have you seen that? Has anybody seen that in their market? You know, like I said, it's so therefore. So no, Tony and Doordash is not punishing you for declining so many orders by intentionally freezing or glitching out your phone only as punishment. Pay attention to your signal bar strength. If you got poker games and Candy Crush and YouTube and podcasts running in the background while you're dashing or doing any other delivery gig, you are just asking for connectivity issues when you're in a low signal area. And that's all it is, folks. Alright guys and gals, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you can take something from this video and put it to use for yourself. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and hope to see you next time.